Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. Alright, what's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we're taking a look at another Christmas film review. It is Christmas time, it is December of 2024, and we are up to the lead up to Christmas, and we are taking a look at a couple of Christmas movies. There isn't that many Christmas movies in the world. I'm going to be honest, there isn't that many iconic ones, so I am taking a look at one of my classic childhood favourite Christmas movies, which is one that I used to watch all the time, which is called Rudolph and the Island of Misfit Toys. It came out in 2001, and that definitely shows. It is a straight to DVD movie, which means it never got a theatrical release. It's always in the bargain bin at like supermarkets and corner shops, and gonna be honest, it ain't the best. It ain't the highest budget film. So without any further delay, let's take a look at what Google has to say. So, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and the Island of Misfit Toys. That is a title. That is a long-ass movie title. It is an adventure musical, which is 1 hour and 16 minutes. That has a 43% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 4.3 out of 5 on Amazon, and a 5.3 out of 10 on IMDb. You can only watch this if you have it on VHS or disc, or you do buy it on YouTube. I'm pretty sure the whole thing is free on YouTube anyway for you to go and watch if you so do want to. But, yeah. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and the Island of Misfit Toys is a 2001 direct-to-video animated Christmas adventure musical film directed by Bill Nowak for Good Times Entertainment. It was released on VHS and DVD on October 30th, 2001. The film takes place after the events of the series. So, the movie. We obviously have Rudolph being the main character and one of the elves, which is the blue elf. How this story actually sort of works out, actually starts, is a little confusing, alright? We have this dude who looks like the egg thief from Spyro stealing all the toys from Santa's workshop. So Rudolph and this elf guy go to try and get them back. They go and try and find them. And they go do the Buddy the Elf thing, travel on an iceberg to the Isle of Misfit Toys, which is an island filled with rejected bad toys, evil toys, you know, like not very good toys. And there is a hippopotamus which wants to be like pretty and beautiful and sings like a song, and they have to get past her to get like through the Isle of Misfit Toys. So they befriend her, they sort of like queen whatever I want to be her, like, you know, befriend her and get through it. They continue to chase down the evil creature into this sort of ice cave where they meet the Yeti, and once they meet the Yeti, they calm him down. They stop him from being aggro and attacking everywhere. They calm him down, and once they do that, he just chills out and they all live happily ever after and Christmas is saved. I'm going to be honest, this is a wild adventure. It is a lot more complex movie than what I said. It is slightly confusing and barely makes sense. I did struggle to piece this movie together watching it. It is like a list of stuff that happens with like iconic characters such as Rudolph and Santa, which are like public domain characters. Like you can create whatever kind of story you want with Santa or Rudolph. Like no one owns them, they're like public domain, so they have no copyright to them. And Rudolph has like this light beam nose thing, which works as like a laser pointer, as well as a laser, I do believe. He has like a nose which doesn't just glow, it shoots out beams of light, and it's like a superpower he has. All the reindeer can fly about, but he still chooses to walk everywhere on foot, and sort of travel by iceberg with the elf guy. The elf guy doesn't want to be an elf, he wants to be a dentist, and that's his dream. And in one of his sort of dream sequences, he is a dentist. And it is a musical, so there is like a song every 5 minutes. Like there is another song. And I'm going to be honest, these songs are not bangers. These songs are very mediocre. They're not the greatest songs in the world. They're okay. None of them are in my Spotify playlist. None of them really stand out to me as like spectacular. None of them really stand out as like, oh, these songs these songs slap. They're all like mid-level songs. Voice acting and animation is both mid. Voice acting is surprisingly good. We have the likes of some really well-known voice actors in here. The same person that is in, I do believe, the Borderlands movie. I forget their name, but the actress that's in the Borderlands movie is also a voice actor in this movie. I think it's like Jamie Lee Curtis. So we have some like A-tier actors and actresses in this movie. So holy fucking shit. It is a wild ride, because the animation does not match the sort of voice, like, quality, I'm gonna be honest. The animation looks fucking diabolical. It looks like a PS2 game cutscene. It is very, very underfinished. There's no textures, everything feels flat and plasticky. It is, all these sort of reindeer are like cut and copied. They have no soul, they all look dead inside. They have those big black eyes with like no soul or life behind them. They all look so dead and unalive and uninteresting. Like, this reindeer on screen here, this one is Rudolph's love interest, and it is literally just Rudolph recolored yellow and a bow slapped on its head. These character designs are fucking impeccable. How do you make a girl animal? Slap a bow on it and give it eyelashes. Boom. Then you can tell it's a girl. Then you can tell it's a woman animal. Like, what the fuck? Why? Like, also, this rabbit is staring directly into the ass of this reindeer. I just wanted to point that out. Like, what the fuck? This movie felt like a fever dream. I'm gonna be honest. I remember this movie, and I was trying to find this movie and like pictures of this movie for so long, and because it's been one that I've wanted to do for like a Christmas review, and it's something I've been planning from like since Halloween finished, like what movie reviews I'm gonna do for Christmas, and this was one of them. But I struggled to find this. I remember watching it so much when I was a kid, but I could not find any recollection of this. My nana remembers it, and it's like no one else remembers this. Like, no one else even remembers this film exists. There is like very few sort of images online, and it's because it doesn't come up when you search Rudolph movie. You have to search Rudolph the Island of Misfit Toys, and that's when this movie comes up. It's not a long movie by any means. You can easily watch this. It's like an hour and 19 minutes. It's no sort of like extravagant movie. Again, it did come out in 2001, and movies were like an hour and a half in length, which is like average length of a movie. It's nowhere near like 2 hours long like movies are nowadays, and it does have its moments. It does have its memeable moments. There is a couple of sort of screenshots that I have sent to my friends as like memes, because we do have one of the elf guy pointing when he's dressed as a tooth, and I sent that with like the "you're breathtaking," because we were sort of like talking about Keanu Reeves, and I sent that with like "you're breathtaking" on it, and it was quite funny. Everyone was amused. But yeah, it's like It's an odd movie, man. Voice acting is great, songs are mid, animation is shockingly bad, but for 2001 I think they can get away with it, especially with a straight-to DVD movie, which means it's got a less budget anyway. So I feel like the animation they can get away with, because they definitely spent more money on getting like these A-list voice actors to come in and sort of do this with like Jamie Lee Curtis and stuff like that. But it is still a movie that I do like, and I still have fond memories of. I did rewatch this for this video, and I'm going to be honest, it did not hold up. It did not hold up. I had really fond memories of this, and I've been doing that a lot recently, where I've been really fond of movies, and then going back and watching it, and them just not living up to the hype that I put them on. Just not living up to the hype that I remember them. This was a very confusing movie. It did not live up to the hype, and I'm kind of upset by that. It still is gonna get nostalgia points in my book, because like I watched this all the fucking time when I was younger. I fucking adored this movie when I was younger, and it came out like 2-3 years before I was born. So you know, this movie's older than me, and you can definitely fucking tell. There is a bear which got abandoned by a child and is very angry and is very upset, and he's like the main villain. Like the plot twist is the monster guy. like the dude in the trench coat is just a fucking bear, like with it. The toy man, the villain that's stealing all these toys, is made up of toys which were abandoned, and that's the plot twist of the movie. And I'm gonna be honest, it was a pretty weak plot twist, a plot twist which I didn't really care for, didn't really shock me either. I just liked Rudolph and the songs aspect of it. I was very young when I used to love this movie, so you know what? Simple shapes and colours do amuse young ones. Simple shapes and colours do amuse children, and they still do amuse me. I put Vaporwave on when I'm like watching... When I'm making videos and editing videos, I put Vaporwave on the TV, and it distracts me. It fucking distracts me. I still do it, and I don't know why I do it, but it fucking distracts me. It's stupid. Like, I put it on as something to, like, listen to in the background, but no, it fucking distracts me, and I stare at it for so long, and it's just the same fucking animation loop over and over again. Simple minds are well amused. But, nostalgia points are being included here. I am going to give this movie a 5 out of 10, because it's got some great voice acting, it's got some great memeable moments, it's a decent story, it's nothing spectacular, and it is something different. It's not the usual slop that we get for Christmas movies in the terms of, hey, Christmas spirit, we gotta get that Christmas spirit, we gotta save that Christmas spirit. It's about toys and toys being mistreated after Christmas, and I quite like that aspect. I think that's a very interesting story, and something that isn't really done that often, so I do believe that this does deserve, like, a 5 out of 10. It's not a movie that I could rewatch over and over and over again nowadays, but when I was young, this was my fucking bread and butter. I would watch this over and over again. This was, like, a spectacular movie.